There comes a moment in your life when something inside you whispers that your healing will not come from luck, not from chance, not from a moment of divine coincidence. A deeper truth begins to rise in you, a truth Jesus tried to teach, but religion softened and science is only now beginning to rediscover. Healing is not random. It is not roulette. It is not a lottery where heaven sometimes says yes and sometimes says no. Healing follows laws, spiritual laws, emotional laws, biological laws, quantum laws, and Jesus understood every one of them. He spoke of rivers of living water, of life flowing from within, of power dwelling in your very being, waiting to awaken your body from the inside out. So as you listen, breathe slowly, because you're about to remember something your soul has always known. Healing is not distant. It is already living inside you. The illusion of random healing. For most of your life, you were taught that healing is a matter of divine chance. Maybe today is your day. Maybe Jesus will pass by. Maybe heaven will decide to touch you, but that is not how Jesus spoke. That is not how the kingdom works, and that is not how creation is designed. Think of it like this. The world around you works like a casino. The tables are rigged, the odds are twisted. If you let your health be decided by randomness, you're surrendering your body to a system that was never created to care for you. Jesus never used the language of maybe. He didn't say, perhaps you'll be healed. Perhaps the Father will help you. Let's see what happens today. He said, be made whole. Your faith has made you well. Rise and walk. Not probability, not possibility, authority. When you wait for a miracle the way gamblers wait for luck, you disconnect from the law that governs healing, the law of alignment, the law of coherence, the law of faith. Healing is not unpredictable, it is precise, it is intentional, it is a response to inner order, and Jesus came to show you exactly how to access it. The river of life, the field where sickness cannot exist. There is a scene described by many who have had encounters with heaven. A river so clear it looks like liquid diamonds. Light moving inside water. Life flowing inside light. The river of life. Everything around it is alive. Everything vibrates with order. Everything heals simply by existing near it. Why? Because in that realm there is no dis-ease, no disorder, no fragmentation. Every molecule is in perfect coherence. In physics, coherence means a system where every part is harmonized to the same frequency. No conflict, no noise, no distortion. Heaven is the realm of maximum coherence. That's why nothing can decay there. That's why nothing can break. That's why everything heals. Now here is the mystery. Jesus described that realm not as a place you go after you die, but as a reality already planted inside you. The kingdom is within you, the same field, the same river, the same life is already flowing inside your spirit. And when you visualize that river, when you sit in stillness and feel its presence, your nervous system begins to shift. Your cells begin to reorganize. Your emotions begin to settle. Your body begins to respond to the pattern of coherence you are focusing on. Your imagination is not fantasy. It is a neuro-spiritual instrument, a bridge. When you picture the river of life, your brain encodes the image as if it were real, and your body begins to follow the pattern of the vision. This is not superstition. This is how the nervous system works. This is heart-brain coherence. This is physics. The power inside you. Paul wrote something that religion turned into poetry, but Jesus meant literally. The same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead lives in you. Not visits you, not touches you, lives in you. That resurrection power is not an idea. It is an energetic reality. It is the highest expression of coherent life, the force that reversed death itself. And Paul adds something most people overlook, and it shall quicken your mortal body. Quicken, activate, re-energize. rewire, restore. Modern science calls this epigenetics. We now know that cells are not ruled by DNA alone. They are ruled by the signal they receive from the environment. If the signal is fear, the cell decays. If the signal is spirit, the cell revitalizes. Your mortal body, the one aging, the one breaking, the one tired, is designed to receive signals from the spirit inside it. Jesus knew this. That's why he never told people, wait for heaven to heal you. He told them, your faith has made you whole. He wasn't pointing to a miracle coming from outside. He was pointing to a miracle being activated from within. When your inner world enters coherence, your body begins to follow. The Holy Spirit in your nervous system. There is a reason sound is the primary tool of creation. Words shape identity. Identity shapes expectation. Expectation shapes biology. James said the tongue is the rudder of your entire being. Whichever direction your words turn, your life follows. When Jesus breathed on the disciples and said, "Receive the Holy Spirit," he was showing them that breath is spirit, and spirit is life, and life is vibration. This is why spiritual language is so powerful, whether through prayer, chant, or the groans of the Spirit. Paul spoke of, sacred sound bypasses the analytical mind. It silences the part of you that doubts, calculates, and anticipates pain. It moves healing through emotional layers that logic cannot reach. Stillness does the same. When you stop moving, your perception sharpens. You begin to see the patterns you were blind to. You step out of the crowd. You step out of the noise. You step out of the world's momentum. In stillness, the nervous system returns to order. And order is the doorway to healing. Sometimes the Holy Spirit even gives instruction. A word, a direction, a nutrient, a habit. Not as superstition, but as divine intelligence interacting with your biology. Faith is not passive. Faith listens. Faith responds. The physics of daily healing. Healing is not a one-time event. It is a pattern, a rhythm, a daily agreement between your spirit and your biology. If you do nothing, your body returns to its old emotional chemistry. Fear, inflammation, cortisol, exhaustion. Not choosing is choosing. This is why Jesus said, "Be transformed by the renewing of your mind." Renewal is repetition. Repetition is neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is biological change. When you rehearse healing scriptures, you are not chanting, you are rewiring. When you bless your food, you are not being religious. You are changing the expectation of your digestive system. You are altering absorption, inflammation, and hormonal response. When you sit in silence, you're not wasting time, you're returning your system to coherence. Every small act becomes a point of contact with the river of life. Leaving the spiritual casino. If you leave your healing to fate, you are stepping into a system that was never created for you. The enemy loves randomness because randomness weakens faith. But the kingdom is not random. The kingdom is law, order, intelligence, precision. Nothing Jesus taught was based on odds. Everything he did operated from certainty. When you align with the Spirit, healing is not a gamble. It is a consequence. You are not a beggar waiting for a miracle. You are a temple releasing one. When the river flows through you. There is a moment in spiritual awakening when you understand something profound. The river of life is not a place. It is a presence, not far above you, but deep within you. Jesus said, "Out of your belly will flow rivers of living water." He wasn't speaking poetically. He was describing the moment your inner coherence erupts into your biology, your energy, your words, your healing. You don't need to find the river, you need to unblock it. You don't need to beg for power, you need to release it. You don't need to hope for healing. You need to awaken the life already placed inside you. So breathe. Because none of this is outside you. None of this is random. None of this is given to a chosen few. You are not a fragment of the universe. You are a fractal of it, a complete expression of the infinite living inside a single point of consciousness. Healing is not something you chase. It is something you remember. It is something you allow. It is something you become. And if these words feel like remembering, it's because your spirit already knows the truth. If messages like this help you remember who you truly are, you're welcome to subscribe and stay connected to this field. Not to follow a channel, but to stay close to the frequency your spirit recognizes as home.